What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 40 of the Hella Average Gamescast. As always, I'm your co-host, Cam, and I've got not one, but two motherfuckers with me this week. What's happening, fellas?
Oh, what's up, man? Where you been, Carman?
Man, I don't know. I was here. I heard myself in the episode when I listened to it, and I just don't know what happened.
I know. I mean, that was totally you.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about your love of Resogun and
Yes.
how much Crash on the Switch irritates you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It was almost like, I'm pretty sure you said you weren't here, but I heard your voice. I don't know if that was just like you speaking to my soul because I missed you so much or what.
I just projected it through you guys.
You just hijacked the stream for a minute.
Yeah.
You know?
But I will tell you, I did play Resogun this week, and I did beat my score yet again.
That's what I like to hear.
So, it was pitiful that I only beat it by like 5 more million, but still.
Only another 5 million.
I busted it out. But
We're back. We're
I'm
here. So excited. We got
The whole
everybody
squad.
with us this time.
yeah,
And
this
damn,
has been
it
the
feels
year
good.
of 2.
Yeah,
It really has.
a lot of stuff's happening, and we got internet issues, work issues. It just happens, man. That's how life is.
Yep, sometimes you just need a break.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I agree. And we get to talk about video games like we do every week. So, who wants to kick it off this week? Who's been playing some video games?
I'll let Carmen have it since he was absent last week.
Whew, I get to start. Well,
That's right.
Like I just told you, I played a little Resogun. We won't dwell on that. We know that I'm playing that every week. I played some more Overwatch. The game has been crazy, crazy fun. I can't get enough of it. I'm ready for the new character to come out. I didn't realize that the pronunciation... By the way, Cam, you say pronunciation really weird.
I never knew that. Thank
You were like,
How do you?
he's like pronunciation or some shit. I don't remember what he said. But her name is weird, and I didn't realize it. I thought her name was just Bridget.
It is Bridget.
Cam's
Fight me on this, Bridgetta.
Bridgetta. I thought that it was an E, not an A. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for that character because I like to play Diva, and I feel like the character's going to play like Diva. So, and then other than that, I've downloaded the new PlayStation Plus games. I had to tease myself with some Mighty Number 9, but I only played for like 2 minutes, and I died, and then I'm going to save it for the Select Start recording that we do next. Other than that,
I just looked up the pronunciations. I guess that's how I say it. It is Brigitte.
Brigitte.
Brigitte?
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off. No.
Torbjorn and Brigitte?
Yep. It's BRI-GEE-TA. Brigitte.
Well, you can Brigitte these nuts, because that's not how I'm saying it. Her fucking name's Bridget, end of discussion.
Yes. High five. Slap.
See, this just... Jeremy, this just confirms, like, we're normal, Cam's
Yep.
weird, like, majority rules here in Hella Average House, like...
That's how it works. This is a democracy, so you gotta go along with it.
Actually, it's the king and the queen, but we're not boning, and I'm not the queen.
So what's Jeremy then?
The queen.
What?
I thought
Yeah.
he was like the court jester.
I'm the most powerful piece in chess, man.
You're the pawn.
If I go down, the ship goes down with me.
That's true. A good chessboard does see some pawns on it.
No, I'm the queen.
No,
You're the pawn.
No, I'm the queen. You're the pawn.
I mean, you guys...
But I
could-
digress. Carmen, what else you been
Slay queen.
I played some Towerfall, which is super fun.
Towerfall. I haven't heard
Yeah.
that one in a while.
Man, the game is fun. I played with my wife, and we just rocked out. I didn't let her.
Cool.
I didn't let her win not one game, but I couldn't
I
help
mean-
it. If you jump into me when I'm standing there, you're gonna die.
It's just because you're so damn good at the game.
Yeah,
It just comes natural to you. It's hard
And then-
not to lose.
And then
to
after
let-
we
to
got
win.
done playing it, because I was recording it as well, I was wondering, like, how come we haven't played that game? Because like the fun and the laughs that we'd have with that.
Yeah, I mean, like when we used to get all together, we'd start drinking and playing that game.
I know we'd have a crazy
A blast.
rotation. 4
Yeah.
people on the game, 4 people jumping in.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was fucking insane. I love that game. And I remember that one night you came down and we bought the entire DLC for it and just said, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, dude, it's fun. So, Jeremy, what have you been playing?
I've been a bad boy. I probably played 2 hours of video games all week.
You're not the only one.
Well, I barely touched my PlayStation this week. I've been watching a ton of anime and just really just.
Such a
Oh.
subtle and selfish, selfless. Let me say, drop.
Yes.
But the little bit of gaming I've done, and I've just made a little more progress in Okami. That's about it.
Have you finished Shadow
Really?
of the Colossus?
I haven't touched it yet. I'm doing that goddamn same thing where I'm on the last boss, and I've stopped. I've actually gone back and tried to beat him, but I keep getting stuck.
Something's wrong with you.
I know. I've beaten him before. I beat him all the time on the PS2, but I went back and I tried beating him like 3 or 4 times. I keep getting to one spot. I don't want to, spoil anything for Cam. I haven't touched it yet. But I get to one part, and then I don't know what to do next. So I'll have to go online and look at a walkthrough because I don't know where to go after that part.
Damn. Yeah, I took down 3 more
plenty
Colossi,
now.
so
Yeah,
3 more.
I heard
What,
you
are
tackle
you on 7 now?
I will be on 7 when I go back to it.
Oh, shit.
3 is literally the perfect number.
Exactly. That's what I was doing. I was tackling 3, I'd stop, come back the next day, do another 3, and so forth.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, some of the most beautiful scenery I've seen was fighting that bird.
Oh, with like the winds whipping around
The
and all
wind
that?
whipping around, the way the wings were moving. The game is...
Yeah.
The graphics look good.
Oh, they look great.
How's it run?
It's... The controls are, like, kind of janky, just like they were on the PS2.
They're a little better because they swapped out some of the buttons.
Yeah, they changed some of the
think.
buttons to where now you don't have to do all these, like, you don't have to try to remember all this dumb shit.
Like triangle used to be jump. Now it's just X, like a normal game. Although I'm sure Carmen bumper jumps.
I actually don't bumper jump in this game because it's easier to grip onto things with R1, I believe is the key.
Yep.
I have to look at the controls every time I play because I just, like, can't remember.
Oh, I always just hit the buttons and just go, yep, this does this does this.
Yeah, I tried jumping on the horse for, like, 2 minutes at first. When I jumped back in the game, I was like, what the fuck's wrong with me right now?
Have you tried doing any stunts on your horse?
I did one jump, and my man's looks like he has weak knees, so I don't think I'm doing that anymore.
Well, I've been able. All I can do is I figured out how to ride him while standing up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a whole bunch of shit you can do. I just don't know how.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
No, it doesn't do anything. It just kind of looks cool.
Yeah, I just want to smash these motherfuckers. That's the best part when you take them down.
Yeah. It's like, fuck you for all that shit you were giving me.
And then I try to run from the darkness that spews out of
I
them.
always do that too.
I'm like, you'll never catch me, motherfucker. And then all of a sudden it hits you and you're like,
I always just try and like get it in like the weirdest place. Like I'll try and get it like in, like I'll jump in midair to like try and get me in midair. Or like try and swim down, let it get me under the water or something.
That's funny. That's good. I'm going to try doing some of that stuff too.
I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, I mean, if you turn your PlayStation on every once in a while, you'll be able to play games. But
So, yeah. So no, I haven't played a lot. I was feeling a little under the weather at the end of last week, so I didn't feel like getting on. And then I felt better, and I went over to Rob's house, and then drank and played games over there, and then felt just wanted to sit around the next day. Then I started watching Survivor again. So we watched like a whole season in like a day and a quarter. But
Jeez, was this 2002?
I know, right? It's crazy. But I did play some Marios. Still chugging along on that, little by little. Played some Brawlhalla. That game is so fun when you got more people like playing when you're not just playing by yourself. And I played Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Wow. Really?
I did.
And?
So, let me tell you, I know we talked about I don't know if they've worked on it or what, but this game looks absolutely amazing. The graphics in this game are killer.
Well, no one was ever doubting it looked good.
Yeah.
It looks good and it sounds good.
Yeah, it definitely looks and sounds good. As far as the microtransaction, we spent like an hour and maybe an hour and 15 minutes with it, and it didn't really affect us. I did notice when the characters were a little high, like the heroes, you had to get points to get the heroes or whatever. I mean, it just felt like it was a feat. I think we got to beat Chewbacca one time, so that was pretty cool. But they have the the fighter mode, like the fighter pilot mode, like the X-wings and all that. That is phenomenal. Like the flying in that game is so fucking fun. So, I can't lie. I mean, the game was fun. It was super fun.
Yeah, but you have to play it in a longer period, see if it's going to hold up.
Yeah, see how it holds up. I mean, if the microtransactions were the only thing marring that game, then, it's still a damn good game. I've heard, different takes on the story mode, if it's not living up to the hype or not being as strong as it should have. But I'm telling you, the multiplayer, I mean, it didn't have the depth, really, like you're just going to an objective, trying to shoot the other team. But like I said, it looks good enough, sounds good enough to hold up. So, I mean, it really wasn't a bad experience. Like, it was a good experience, and I didn't expect that.
I mean, like, no one's arguing the presentation isn't top notch, but I'd be interested to see how long you could play this before you start getting frustrated with the pay to win mechanics.
Yeah, maybe. And I didn't even know my way around it well enough to see who on the other team had paid for stuff, or, am I getting killed by a gun that you paid for? You can't even really tell just spending that little time with it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the game is probably top notch quality and just got marred by some bad and shitty stuff.
That's why it was so frustrating. You could see signs of greatness.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty much all I played this week. I'm starting to, like yesterday, I was so close to hopping on. We had one episode of Survivor left. It was the season finale, so I was like, fuck it. But I'm ready to start playing again. I got my work all figured out. Like, I got everything set in stone. We switched from our training schedules to our full schedule, so I've got used to that, man. So I'm about to start playing with you again, Carmen. I didn't leave you, buddy.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Don't be sad. I'll come back.
I don't believe you.
I know you don't.
Will even bought Overwatch, motherfucker. He bought the motherfucking game.
It's fine. It was only $25. I don't feel.
I don't give a fuck what he paid for it.
He should have bought it 3 weeks ago when we asked him to.
Yeah, you should have signed on in the last 8 days.
I should have.
Bitch.
But I didn't. I did play. I just wasn't signed on, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I've been playing. So let's move on to the new releases. Go over to YouTube. Check them out. I've got them posted in the glorious video. Jeremy's got us some artwork that you'll see in the thumbnail. Every week we'll be posting these new releases. So go check them out. See what you want to buy. See what you like. See what you don't like. And let us know.
Yeah, I think Jeremy should like rework you and put you in like a suit, like the Weatherman.
That'd be funny.
I think that's something we should put in the works. Shameless plug, right on the blue. Put Jeremy on the spot.
Get to work, boy.
I'll put him in some overalls with some livestock.
Oh. Yeah, like if we published, we should start recording our text messages and put that on YouTube. If that doesn't hit, I don't know what will.
That was a good conversation.
We might have been banned for doing that though.
Yeah.
some of that's illegal in the lower Florida states.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it legal in North Carolina?
I don't know, man. Probably in some parts of South Carolina.
Yeah, like Pageland.
Yep, just like Pageland.
I love you, Michelle.
Oh, man. So let's keep it moving. We've got some news to talk about. There's not a whole lot. There's a few drips in the barrel.
What?
A few things. A few drips in the barrel.
Is that a real saying?
Yeah, like a few drips of water in the barrel.
Never heard of that.
Aren't we all from the South? Isn't that a thing? Like, are y'all really from the South?
No, I think that's just Jeremy. This is another one of those things.
Yep.
A few drips in the barrel. Like a water barrel? Is it really that weird?
I mean, I get my water from the sink.
Yeah, the faucet for me.
Okay, all right. Well then. The news is slow this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a few drips in the barrel.
A few drips in the barrel. A few drops in the proverbial bucket.
Yes.
A few licks to the proverbial center of the Tootsie Pop.
Crunch.
So, we've got Diablo 3 coming to the Switch. And Mario's a plumber again. So, Nintendo, what's up, buddies? What are you doing here? I'm all about bringing games to the Switch, but how big's this game going to be? How many memory cards or not memory cards? Fuck, I just blanked out.
You just
Micro SD cards do I have to buy to play this game?
That's a good point.
I think you can get away with one. You better find the biggest one you can find.
The 400 gigabyte one's $185 on Amazon right now.
Well, hang on. Let's see. Hang on one second. I have the case for Diablo right here. And 26 gigabytes minimum for PS4 version of Diablo 3. That's no DLCs.
That's like the whole memory for the Switch.
Also, this is an online game mostly, isn't it? I mean, and Switch does not really have an online mode right now.
Play online.
No, it's got a big offline presence. I mean, the online stuff was added, and it's a good thing, or like a afterthought. Not an afterthought, but they added it on, and it made the game better, enhanced the gameplay. But definitely, the core is a single player experience. I would think.
I was gonna say that's the part of the experience. I mean, there's no way of getting around it. This is gonna be like the GIMP version of Diablo 3.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any of these AAA titles come to the Switch in their full glory, to be honest with you.
And even though some of them were pretty good considering the hardware they're on, like Doom, no one will say that this is the version you have to play.
No, I don't think it's going to run very well on the Switch, so I don't think it's going to be the version.
It'll be 30 FPS, I think.
Yeah, but it doesn't even run that well on the PlayStation.
Really?
It's a hardware stressor, like, if you want to be honest.
How? It's only 26 gigs. How could it stress hardware on the PlayStation?
The animations, with the clipping, plus with all the animations that you can do with all your moves, you can really lag this game out, and I've done it on the PS4.
That just sounds like shitty programming to me.
No, it's just too much going on the screen at one time. It's similar to the limitations that the Nintendo had, where you could only have so many sprites on the screen.
Did it even do? Have you played it since you got your Pro?
No, I haven't played it since I got my Pro.
I wonder if that makes any difference with it.
I'll have to try it out. I want to start a new character because I got a bunch of cheater gear. So
thank God Konami didn't make it. They charge you $10 for a new character.
Fuck that.
Yeah. So I just don't think the hardware's going to be able to keep up with it. I think they're going to lose a lot of the animations. They're going to lose a lot of the things that go on the screen. You're going to see a lot of lag. You're going to see a lot of moves not working properly. It'll be interesting to see what Blizzard does for this.
Diablo 3 Lite.
It's so weird because I don't doubt you. It's just I just don't understand how this could be such a hardware pusher for the Switch. It just every time I look at it, it just looks so basic. And so
it is. It's super basic, and what you see, it's a dungeon crawler. You have a set of moves.
That's what I'm saying. It's just why I just find it so hard.
But
to believe that it's really going to push the Switch to its limits.
I mean, it's not going to just tax it.
Do you know what game right now pushes the PC to its max even with all the hardware we have now?
What's that?
Crysis 2.
Well, yeah, but that makes sense.
So, I mean, it's an old-ass game that we've leaps and bounds later with technology, and it's still maxing out. You still can't run it with the modern systems. Some people can't with a giant rig.
Well, you look at Crysis 2, like, graphically, it's super impressive. Diablo, it's not that graphically impressive.
Well, I'm just saying that's an example of an antiquated game that can max out a system.
It doesn't have to do with how old it is. It has to do with the design of the game, in my opinion.
Sure, it does. It absolutely has to do with how old it is because they didn't have the graphics engines and power that they do now.
Well, I mean, Crysis 2 looks amazing.
It does, yeah.
And it looks way better than Diablo 3, which came out way later.
Yeah, but Diablo 3 is a whole different style. I don't think I think if you compared styles, then Diablo 3 is the better game.
Oh yeah, but I'm also saying Crysis is for the most part an FPS, correct?
Yeah.
And Diablo's a top-down dungeon crawler.
Sure.
Which looks like it just takes a lot less to do. A lot less to render.
You would think. I mean, but you got...
Yeah, but there's a lot...
It's like bullet hell,
Yeah, there's just like a million mobs on the screen, plus you're doing your AoE attack, and then all the numbers that pop up. I'm sure that if you reduce your settings in Diablo, regardless of where you play it, it will play better. And
this is one of the reasons why... It's one of the reasons why I just don't like these kind of games. It's just too much crap going on the screen all at once.
I mean, Jeremy, you have a hard time finishing games. Like, I don't want to overwhelm you with numbers and characters and enemies. That's too much, bud.
I would ignore 90% of it. I'd just be like, get this shit off my screen and let me just bash shit.
Yeah, that's what you do though in Diablo.
L to an X.
You just
I know.
go,
So why do I need?
Go ham.
Why do I need all this? Why do I need all this goddamn Dungeons and Dragons textbook spreadsheet on my fucking screen? Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, but if anybody can make it work, it's going to be Blizzard.
I agree. I have that.
It's just a matter of. But it's just how much of their resources have they devoted to the Switch release of Diablo?
I mean, I don't know. They don't. This is something that's not the biggest of deals. It's really cool to hear that Diablo 3 is coming to a portable system, but it's not like a huge groundbreaking deal. They probably have a fraction of their team working on it.
I would hope.
I would have had more, when they first started bringing these third parties over, I was excited, but then you realize through, Doom and Skyrim that they're watered down versions and they just don't run as well. It's cool to still say that you're playing Doom on the go or, you're playing
on the train
Skyrim,
or on the plane.
On the train or just picking it up and playing it on your couch while you're watching TV or whatever it is. But when you get down to the brass tacks, it's not the full game experience. But when they have AAA titles like Mario and, I guess Zelda, from what I've heard, and stuff like that, then that kind of makes up for it, in my opinion. Like, those are the games you need to be playing probably on that system.
Yes.
But that's just what I think, in my humble opinion. But we'll see. I'm probably not going to purchase it. I mean, there's no point in me playing Diablo 3 when I could play it on the PlayStation or the Xbox. But I played on the PlayStation since Carmen's got it.
Boom.
All right. So, we'll keep you updated. I think if we get some specs, I'd like to mention it, just see how big the game will be. That'll be nice. But Mario's plumbing, don't forget that. Don't know why I ever stopped. Maybe just went on vacation.
I think they walk in the office and, once a month somebody's like, flip the coin. Heads, he's a plumber.
Probably.
Tails, he's a stripper. I don't know. Boop. They flip it. Most of the time it sticks. Sometimes it doesn't.
All right. So we got some South Park news. Very popular, very fun game. The Fractured But Whole DLC was announced. Jeremy, tell me a little bit about it.
It is going to be called From Dusk Till Casa. Obviously a play on From Dusk Till Dawn, the very amazing Quentin Robert Rodriguez film. And it is going to focus on Mysterion's sister mysteriously vanishes. And the boys find out that she's been taken by the Vamp Kids, whose base is at Casa Bonita. And you must go and rescue her. It's going to contain a new class, which I think is Vamp, as well as some goth clothes, because why not? And I believe it's coming out later this month, and it's going to be $12.99 for those who haven't purchased the season pass.
And did I hear some rumors that the actual game itself is on a flash sale right now, or what's going on with that?
I heard that rumor too, but I can't confirm it because I did not actually see it.
It was on sale, 50% off.
Which, if you haven't gotten it yet, I highly recommend it. It's one of the few games I've actually beaten this year.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Check his trophies. I'm not sure it's the truth.
So if you
I've got...
Go ahead, Jeremy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jeremy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Jeremy. I really didn't mean to. All right, go ahead. I'm for real.
I will release your secret to the world. I was just going to say, I got the trophies, bitch. Come look at them.
Boom. Gauntlet laid down.
All right.
So go check it out. Jeremy says this is one of the coolest games he's ever played. Funnest games he ever played. Funnest,
As for the
funnest isn't even a word. And he said it.
Fullsies. As for the DLC, though, I'm going to wait and hear how it is, because it doesn't sound like it's going to be very long. Because most areas in the game where you have to go to one place, you're in there for less than an hour at most. So hopefully they beef this up, and if they do, I don't want it to be just a bunch of fetch quests and padding just to make it longer. I want it to be substantial.
Yeah, from the sounds of it, from what you're just saying, though, I imagine this DLC to be like 5 hours.
And I hope it's a good 5 hours.
I am not thinking so.
Yeah, that's why
I'm thinking
that's exactly
two
what I'm.
good hours and then 3 good hours or 3 bad hours of fetch quests and.
Oh yeah. I said, I'm gonna wait and hear some reviews for this before I download it, if I download it.
There you have it. I'm actually going to go look when we get off here and see if it's still 50% off, and I might purchase it. We'll see. Who knows?
You won't.
I might
You
feel
won't.
frisky. If it's 50%
You
off, that's a
won't.
good deal. That's a low price.
Get you something.
If I knew that would get him to turn his PlayStation on, I would have sent him a text like that 8 days ago.
8 days. I'll be back. Don't you worry. But if you're in the market for a PS4, you might can get your hands on the God of War PS4 bundle. And man, let me tell you, it looks shitty.
It doesn't make sense. There's weird symbols on it that I don't recognize from God of War, and then
Well, I think they're Nordic symbols because remember this is Nordic based now, not Greek.
oh well,
Yeah.
Nordic, your dick. I don't care whose dick. It looks bad. And then they
Boom.
stole the Temple Run logo. You heard it here first. Temple Run. Sue
Look at it.
Santa Monica Studios. Get
Nah,
that
man,
motherfucking thing off of there.
They stole it from God of War.
I bet.
Yeah. Was Temple Run a thing before 5 minutes ago? I don't think so.
Oh. Yeah, the fucking thing looks awfully similar. Companies have been sued for less.
Let me see this thing here. I didn't get that much in depth on it.
Just like Carmen texted to you. Take a look at it.
Yeah, in between all the names we were calling you and the pictures we were sending, I sent something valuable.
You did. I'm at work and I turn my phone. There's 70 missed texts. I'm like, fuck.
And a horse stick.
But there you have it. That's actually the first PS4 bundle I've seen in a while that's looked pretty shitty. So
Didn't they make a Star Wars one too? It looked
but
bad.
if I'm not mistaken,
Did
that thing
they?
looked good.
I thought it looked kind of weak.
Oh, let me go check another look. We talked about a few.
Hang on, but did you go look at the Temple Run logo?
Yes, I did. I did see what you're saying.
It's there.
Yeah,
Creator
this
of
thing's
Temple
called
Run. Get your money. Treat yourself.
Now the
this
Star
thing's
Wars
called
one looked
Leviathan
pretty.
Gray.
It was kind of dumb. It's just kind of plain, but it didn't look bad. But not like the God of War one. The God of War one was just dumb.
Yeah, not interested.
Me neither. Jeremy, what you gonna do? You gonna buy you another one?
Huh,
Is
no.
it even coming in the pro variety?
It is. I think it is. I think that's the pro.
Jeremy, that's your opportunity, man. Get you a pro.
Why
Not
would I
only get your
another...
pro, get a limited edition pro.
Get the ugliest
never-
pro you can find.
I was gonna say, that's a PS4 Pro limited edition, 1 terabyte.
There you go. That
But
perfect opportunity.
I can turn it around, sell it, and get a decent looking Pro.
You could. You absolutely could. So don't go buy it. Unless you really like it, then go buy it. And you could play the best-selling Capcom game of all time on it, Monster Hunter. Do we get a little round of applause for that?
Intern,
I hear it.
cue the claps.
Cue the claps. We need a laugh track and a clap track.
Ha 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 ha! Oh, Capcom! Ha ha!
So Monster Hunter World is Capcom's best-selling game of all time. I don't know how hard that is to do, but I'm assuming with all the Street Fighters that's been out, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty good feat.
That seems like a pretty good feat to me. Capcom's a big ass company.
Yeah, they've put out a lot of fucking games.
Yeah, they put out some heat through the years.
I believe they said it was 7.8 million copies so far.
I would have never thought Monster Hunter would have been the game. You know?
It's weird because it does exceptionally well in Japan. It has a very diehard audience, and it sells very well among them. But it's never really broken these kind of records before. So they were really smart in making this a lot more accessible to other people, like myself and Cam.
Oh yeah, like something I never played, heard of plenty of times. I saw I don't know what you would call it, the effect on other games, like Evolve. That was heavily based on Monster Hunter, but I never played the original. And I gotta say, this is a very, very good game. Now, I just need to get back into it. But there's so many good things to play right now.
There is.
Bloodborne. Jesus.
You gotta get back into Bloodborne too, man.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
love
I'm
that game.
stoked to play Bloodborne. Absolutely
So good.
stoked.
Have you played any of the darks of like the Souls style games, Cam? I mean, Carmen.
No.
This'll be interesting.
This is an easier version of it for sure.
I personally, like I said, this is my favorite. This one's very dodge based. Like don't even bother blocking. You gotta dodge.
Dip,
You gotta learn how
dodge,
to counter.
duck, dive,
You gotta learn how to
and
counter.
dodge.
You gotta read their moves. Guns are not how you would normally expect to use them.
Very
Interesting.
true. I can vouch for this. It's a fun
Yeah.
game. Very fun game. I
I'm
don't know what
looking forward
happened. I
to it.
started grinding in it, and then one day I just stopped and never went back.
It'll click for you at some point.
It will.
I was the same way.
But that's
Yeah.
what Cam told me about. What the fuck was that game that we both quit playing? The game that Horizon.
Oh, Horizon. Yeah.
That never clicked for me. I actually tried to get back into that. I meant to tell you.
How'd that go?
Did not click.
It's still a miss.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just gonna be a miss for you. I mean,
Man, I hate that because there's so much about it I like, but it's not hitting me.
that's okay. I mean, there's to each their own. I think that you're both knowledgeable enough to know how good of a game it is. It's just not clicking with you.
It's just not the game for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once again, this is a me and Jeremy thing. Majority rules in this house, remember.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll be the guy who plays Horizon and beats it. It's all right.
More power
And
to
then-
you.
And then Carmen, you're the guy who continuously gets on leaderboards in WrestleGun.
Yes.
And Jeremy, you
Don't finish
It's-
games.
Pretty much.
continually
I'll-
touch games.
I'll start. I've probably played more games than any of you guys, but finished less games than any of you guys.
You're probably right. That's probably a correct statement.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm almost guaranteed. That's
But
a
all
correct
that matters is the experience you had. And that's what happens when you're a gamer. It's just all about the experience.
Exactly. And Jeremy's chill to pull ratio is real low. The chill is
Really?
high, but the pull is low.
Man, I haven't
Oh,
heard
yeah.
that ratio since college. What made you think of that?
It just came to me.
The
Okay.
chill to pull ratio. Oh,
we're
man. Let's
applying
keep
it
it
to video
going.
games.
Let's keep it going. So one of Jeremy's favorite things, sex dolls, has made its way
Yeah.
into the video game industry.
Don't you talk about Felicia like that.
All right, so this is kind of a weird
Mashup.
story. Yeah. So the creators behind the game Limbo, teamed up with a sex toy and sex doll manufacturer for their new game called Inside, I believe.
What a name.
Wow. Inside from a company that makes sex dolls.
Yes. So Playdead,
Writes
which
itself.
is the devs, are teaming up with sex doll manufacturer Real Doll to release a collector's edition for the game. But here's the thing, we have no idea what's in the collector's edition. So it's either going to be some type of collectible or it's going to be a really sweet sex toy.
You guys might actually get to fuck Bayonetta. How's that make you
Or-
feel?
It might
That-
be.
That would be amazing.
Both.
I'm not gonna lie.
So, this is one of the weirder stories that we've talked about on the podcast ever.
Really is.
It's quite
Oh.
obscure.
Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, who would think, if you're running, or if you're part of this development team who's got a game coming out, who thinks, hey, let's go to this sex toy manufacturer who produces blow-up dolls, real-life blow-up dolls?
I was gonna ask, like, what prompted this? This is not like the Kingdom Hearts Disney's Final Fantasy mix where I'm like, wow, that's weird, but it works. I mean, like, what made this studio go, we need sex dolls to manufacture our shit?
Maybe
I
they
mean-
just got a sweet deal.
Maybe. I mean,
I-
just
I-
think
Maybe they
outside
were
the
like,
box.
look, like we can make you our own version of Amiibos, and here we go. Now we're in there. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Like, sex sells. We all know that.
Well, that's true.
They amp up. They make the female characters in games have huge tits, big asses. Like, that's like one of the most commonly use phrases like when we play Fortnite is like, damn, like one of our characters or all of our characters got that big old like donk-a-donk, like. So maybe that's just what they're trying to play off of. They're like, sex is gonna sell. Now, do I think they're gonna sell a sex doll? I'm not sure.
No, not for $300.
So now the next question is the slogan for the game, come inside?
If it's not,
Ooh.
you need to call them right now and make that happen.
I'm just going to add this to my list of people that I'm trying to make deals with.
I know you're
Get
trying to
in
make
that-
deals with Mark Cuban. I love it.
Yeah, people want that box of mystery.
They do,
I see
and
what
you know,
did there.
all jokes aside, they're probably going to have a very unique collectible. I mean, think about it. No other person, no other company, goes
No other
to a sex
person is
doll
going to be able to
manufacturer.
collect inside of it.
I mean, they can if you let them.
That's
It all depends on what you like, bro.
Didn't you see Blue Mountain State?
I did.
Don't you remember the whole team got fucked up?
Oh man.
Don't bring that doll in Hella Average House.
So, yeah, one of the weirdest news stories to date. I love it though. It's fantastic.
I want to see how well they do. Like, imagine like they break all kinds of crazy records. Like the game, who knows what the game's going to be like? I don't know any details of it. But what if the game is just total trash, but they sell like 10 million copies because it's going to come with Susie?
Then the marketing genius behind it's going to have a hell of a payday.
I see the opposite happening. I see them getting like 10,000 pre-orders, and the game's amazing, but no one cares. They're just pissed off because they think they didn't get their sex doll.
Yeah, like they don't buy it because all the sex
Yeah.
dolls are gone. And then they reintroduce like the God version of the game. Comes with 2 dolls. They work together.
They were in tandem
Yes.
for the best massage you've ever had.
Even worse, they get the sex doll, but they're like 5 inches tall. They're like, fuck!
Oh,
Oh, it's such a tease!
So yeah, I guess when we hear more about that, we'll bring some updates. We'll actually get to see what the thing looks like. I can't wait. Also, keeping it moving on along, GTA 6 is rumored for 2022. Speaking of, I can't wait. That's a long time away. Long time away. 4 years.
Still coming out before Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm calling it.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
I gotta fight you on that one. We're getting Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, we're getting it. Just not before 2022.
We're getting it holiday 2018.
Oh, hell no.
I don't know, man.
No. Not next year at the earliest.
If it doesn't come
At the
by holiday
earliest.
2018, next select start, lunch, and dinner is on me.
There we go.
All right, you heard it here first. We'll probably forget about it. Why don't you remind us, listeners, our loyal and faithful listeners, because we all love lunch. And what's better than lunch? Free lunch. So what do you think? You think it's going to be 2022? Do you think it's going to come out this generation? Do you think it's going to be
GTA?
a next-gen title? Yeah.
It'll be 2022.
Okay,
But
is
I
it going
agree.
to be this generation?
I think it's going to be both, like Carmen was saying
Yeah,
earlier.
like there's too many things that Rockstar Games does like on a consistent basis. And the way that they know that they can monetize the fuck out of the game, they're going to make a shit ton of money if they drop it on the PS4. Then they're going to turn around and they're going to re-release it on the PS5. They're not going to change anything.
I think the PS5 is going to be out by 2022. I think they're going to release it on both like simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. They won't.
You don't think so?
No, not even a little bit.
Well, then they'll release it on the PS5 first and then the PS4 later.
I think you're backwards there too.
Why? If the PS5 is out, I think
There's
the
no way.
PS5's.
There's no way if both systems are out, the PS5 and the PS4 is out, that they're going to limit that base. They'll do both simultaneously.
That's what I'm saying.
If they're out, there's no way.
Because I think the PS5 is probably going to drop by 2020.
I would have agreed with you until I saw this rumor. And
I think
I fought it before in an episode previous to this that I thought the next generation of consoles will be announced like in the 2019 E3. It's not going to happen. PS4 is going to last longer than we expect.
I don't want it to happen. I love my PS4. I still want to get more years out of it. But I really do think I think we're going to see it by 2020. GTA 5 or 6 or whatever will be 2022. And it'll launch on both the 4 and 5 simultaneously. That's my opinion.
it timed perfectly with GTA 5 because it hit the PS3, and then, not too long after the PS4 comes out, they drop on the PS4 and it makes a shit ton more money again. But I just don't see any company, no matter what the game is, if you've got a new gen system and an old gen system that's still viable, what to not do both?
Oh no, they're gonna do both.
And I mean simultaneously. Why would they want to release it on the PS on the lower system, or why would they want to release it on either system and not include the other? It just doesn't.
I
don't think
they'll do it at the same time. I think that they should do it on the PS4 first, maximize their money there, and then turn around and sell the game to everybody again on the PS5.
But the PS5, I think, will already be out by that time. That's why I'm going on. If you're right and the PS5 hasn't come out yet, yes, absolutely they're going to do that. But I think it will have been out by that point.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jeremy. I think it's out by that point.
Because I remember when Shadow of Mordor came out, it was already, I think, a year into the PS4's life cycle, and they released both the PS4 and the PS3 version at the same time, the exact same day.
You're right, and then they had to dumb down the...
Yeah, the PS4 version was a superior one. I think that'll be what happens with GTA. It'll be the superior version will be on 5, and then the Switch version will be on 4.
I mean, I can play a lot of scenarios with this. I also think that this could be a launch title for the PS5 if it waits that long.
I see that being a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
if it makes it to that time frame and the PS5's not out, GTA 6 is a launch title, which is massive.
Sure. I'll say this. If we don't see the PS5...
We're going to see it soon. We're going to see it sooner than later. That's what I'm saying.
If we don't see it at E3 2019 or something like that, I will pretty much concede that, yeah, it's going to be 2022 when it comes out. Because I think they're going to do like they did with the PS4, where they're going to announce it pretty close to launch day.
And we're at a point now where the term generation is so much different than it was 10 years ago, because you're releasing these half-step systems, and you used to not do that. So we don't know what the quote-unquote next generation will look like, what the PS5s or the Xbox 2s will look like, but it might not even follow the same lifespan that it's been following in the previous generations. So I don't know. What I do know is if this game's a launch title, that's going to be massive.
That's gonna put Breath of the Wild to shame.
Yeah.
In terms of greatest launch game ever and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
Because it's going to be a game that's going to sell until the end of the life cycle.
Exactly.
Grand Theft Auto, like Minecraft or something, or like GTA 5.
GTA 5 is still topping the sales charts. It's been out forever.
So there's a lot of possibilities, and we have a lot of time to figure this one out.
And they're and I think they're going to put a lot of focus. And I said it before we started recording. They're right now they're putting a whole lot of focus on the Red Dead. They're going to do the same thing with Red Dead 2 that they did with GTA 5. This game's not going anywhere anytime soon. So they're going to be putting their resources into this for the foreseeable future. No doubt about it. So Rockstar, they're going to bring us the heat for a while. Don't you worry. We got another rumor. Battlefield 5. We got a leaked image that was later confirmed. And it's reportedly set in World War II. And it's coming in 2018.
It's going to be called Battlefield 2.
Battlefield V is what it looks, if I remember correctly. It's just Battlefield 5 so far. I think two things, because I've been pretty immersed in the Battlefield over the years. It's too soon, and World War I and World War II are severely played out at this point.
Well, World War II is. I don't remember very many games that did
World War they didn't go to World War I a lot, but so I can I'll retract that. But
yeah, but they're following Call of Duty like to a T at this point.
I remember.
There's no reason to do that.
I remember back in the PS2, like every goddamn FPS game was a World War II game, like every single one.
They got so played out, then they moved to the future. Now they're moving back to them as far as Call of Duty goes.
Yep. Yeah, because then they did Modern Warfare, and then that got played out as fuck, and now they're trying to go back.
It's all a giant circle. I mean, It's like anything else; it'll go out of style. Then eventually, in 15 years down the road, we'll be back in World War II.
Yeah, I just don't think it's the right move. I think that Battlefield had an opportunity to kind of be original, come up with a new theme. Instead, they're just going toward this tried and true method, and maybe it's just that they need to get another game out on their contract, or who knows. It's just not the right move for them.
I think honestly the problem with Call of Duty and Battlefield is they limited themselves so much by actually having to go with guns. Like, it'd be so cool if they could do like ancient warfare, or you're like it's like the Spartans or the Knights or something like that, and you could be more about swordplay and bow and arrows. But that just wouldn't fit their FPS genre.
So then you would be playing For Honor.
No, it'd be first person, not third person.
Oh,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It'd be more like that Kingdom Come, but not buggy as fuck.
I see.
I remember back in the days when, Battlefield to me, I remember when Battlefield 4 was dropping, like I was all up in the hype loop.
It was the superior FPS.
Yeah, and Battlefield 1, when that started coming out, I was so fucking stoked. Like, oh my god, we're going back to BF1 or to 1.
Yep.
And
yeah, you were freaking out over that trailer.
I get my hands on the game and it's slow and just not good. I mean, I might be in the minority when I say that, but I know plenty of hardcore Battlefield fans who went back to Battlefield 4 and are playing Battlefield 4 right now.
I thought you loved Battlefield 1.
I loved it for 2 weeks.
I never heard you talk ill of it.
And then, I did talk ill of it, but I just didn't talk
I
ill
don't
of it
remember
on
that
the
at all.
podcast. I talked ill of it while I was playing it in the heat of the battle, and every word that came out of my mouth was a very, very bad word.
Really? This is the first time hearing of this.
It's just I have a love-hate relationship with first-person shooters, especially Battlefield. After playing Call of Duty, which obviously came out later, I realized I had more fun with Call of Duty than Battlefield. I've always loved the franchise, and I'll probably always give it a shot, but that just wasn't the game for me.
Yeah, I do remember you getting Modern Warfare. Was it Modern Warfare 2 or whatever the last one was?
For what, Call of Duty?
Yeah, Call of Duty.
What was Infinite Warfare? Advanced Warfare? The one I returned it like a week later.
But I remember you liking it a lot, and that surprised me. Because I remember you praising the fuck out of Battlefield 1 and shitting all over Infinite Warfare. And then all of a sudden you buy Infinite Warfare, and you're like, I don't really like that Infinite Warfare. This is awesome.
Oh, so you're talking about this last year? Yeah, the newest. No, you're not talking about World War II. You're talking about the other one.
The one that came out last year. The one that came out the same time as Battlefield 1.
Yeah, I bought it and I did play it for what, I think 2 weeks or something. I prestiged in it and I just got tired of it. That was one situation where I just got tired of playing it.
Yeah, you'll do it again. You'll buy this one for $60,
That's
and you'll do it for 2 weeks,
and
and you'll prestige it.
That's why they release it every year, because that's what they want you to do.
Exactly.
Finally, we came to our last news story. The Witcher 3's Geralt is rumored to make a cameo appearance in another game.
Appearance
in another game. So, what
not Soul Calibur
game do we think it is?
They already said it was Soul Calibur.
No, I don't think they have said it.
That's what the article I read said. So he's rumored to be in Soul Calibur.
Is it Soul Calibur? I heard it was a mystery game.
Soul Calibur. He's rumored to be the guest character in Soul Calibur.
I like that. I think it fits.
It'll be interesting because he definitely fits the period, since it's like a medieval game, but they're really gonna have to give him some fighting ability, because at least the battle animations in The Witcher 3 suck balls. I know people praise the shit out of that game, but the combat in that is herky-jerky. And unless it's just you want to see him just like ragdolling and doing like Assassin's Creed-esque, press circle to parry everything, they're really going to have to give him something to work with.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll amp him up.
And he could be cool. I know almost nothing about the Witcher lore. One of the reasons I didn't like the game because I couldn't get into it because I don't know anything about the story. But he's a cool-looking character. I liked his personality. And he definitely, he uses swords, and he uses, some kind of, witchcraft or some form of battle magic, which could be used in combat. But, you know, I'm all for it, but it's not something that's going to sell me on Soul Calibur 6.
It is
Or-
not confirmed that it's Soul Calibur. I'm going to read you the tweet from the producer or the head guy from CD Projekt Red. It says, "What if Geralt was going to step out of the Witcher game for the very first time and make an appearance in one of the upcoming games later this year?" Obviously, Soul Calibur is the biggest choice, but it is not confirmed. It could be Madden for all we know.
Yeah, I'm so sure it's going to be Madden.
I think they're going to put him in
Super
NBA 2K20 or whatever the fuck the next one is.
Why not?
Is 19 out yet?
Why can't he dunk on someone and then drop a flame circle?
I think they should just put him in Mario Kart.
Fuck it, let's have it. I'm so down with that.
The article I'm reading says Soul Calibur 6. Says I'm reading on Game Informer right now. It says Let's Play Video Games has heard from anonymous sources that CD Projekt Red's Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher's franchise will appear in Bandai Namco's Soul Calibur 6.
All right, so I'm on Polygons. So damn it, news media. This is why we need to do better. We need these breaking stories so we can bring the news straight to people.
Now these are rumors, but it makes the most sense to be Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah, so it's not confirmed. But yes, it absolutely makes the most sense to be Soul Calibur. I mean,
he's not. I doubt he'll be in the next Star Wars Battlefront 3.
I mean, he could. I don't care what he's in. He could come in Kirby's Dream Land Adventure for all I care. I think he's a cool character. I played The Witcher and did not get into it. Could not get into it to save my life.
No, same here.
From the little bit of lore I saw about him, it seemed pretty deep and pretty rich, and he seems like a pretty cool character. I'm not mad at it.
No, I'm all for it.
I love crossovers anyway. It doesn't really matter. Even if they're shitty, I just like seeing characters that shouldn't be in a certain franchise be in that franchise. So, with that being said, that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. We covered the whole week's worth, the few little drops in the barrel, as they say. But we didn't want to leave you with just that. We wanted to add a little bit more on the plate this week. And over the years in gaming, the number one tool for a gamer is a controller. Yeah, what'd you think it was?
Power
His
cord.
mind? Their mind?
I don't know what I thought.
I don't either, man. But it has to be the controller.
There's been good ones.
And there's been bad ones. So here's the question. What is your favorite and least favorite controller?
Okay, so now I have to ask, is it least favorite current day to me, or when I immediately played it, I said, man, this controller is wonky.
Just what controller is your favorite controller of all time, and what controller do you hate the most?
Okay, but the question's different. What I'm trying to find out is it the controller?
Complicating shit, man.
No, but I want to know, because right now, like, if you ask me what my least favorite controller is, it's the PS1 controller.
Well, then that's your answer.
But originally, the PS1 controller was probably my favorite.
But is it currently? No.
No, the PS1 controller is my least favorite controller.
Well, then there you go.
Boom,
we're not asking 13-year-old Carmen. We're asking grown-ass man Carmen.
All right, PS1 controller, least favorite.
And why is it your least favorite?
Too light. Buttons don't feel that great on it.
Okay.
I don't think they held up very well. I went through quite a bit of them.
Mm-hmm.
No analog sticks.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Well, unless you got the DualShocks. But yeah, the standard did not have.
Yeah, the standard was just that like lightweight piece of plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite controller is the N64 controller.
Ooh, wow, that's one of my least favorites.
And it's not because that it had the best functionality. I just thought it was different. And like the first time I played it, I played Star Wars, the pod racing game for Star Wars.
Okay.
And it like hooked me. Like once I my dad's friend was like, "Here, man, just put your hand here and here, and blah 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 blah, and you can move over here and do this, and then you have these C buttons over here, boom boom boom." It was fun. It was different.
I felt like I used to throw gang signs on the N64 controller trying to get all the buttons.
Yeah, like you think people playing claw on a PS4 controller is weird? Like the shit we used to do on the N64 controllers, wild.
That's why I had that third grip in the middle. They at least thought that much through.
Good answer, Carmen. Two unexpected ones, as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't have picked those for you.
What you got, Cam?
Okay, so my least favorite controller is probably the GameCube controller.
I can get
Nice.
behind that.
I can
Oh.
too. I don't understand the love for this thing. I don't understand why people call it the best
People do
controller of
love
all
it,
time.
and for me personally, I remember having it as a kid and liking it because of the colorful buttons and just it was something new, like the configuration, But
Mhm.
the older I got and realized like it felt flimsy, like cheap plastic. I remember as a kid that the shoulder buttons on that thing, the big ones, I forgot what they actually were. They would stick all the time. The joystick would get loose super quick, and it just didn't fit for me.
Your controller, like what you're describing, is probably like the controller that the pros were looking for. Like,
maybe it was.
Like, you broke your controller in just the way they probably want it.
Probably. That's probably why they love it. I think it's a piece of shit. I think there's
I can get
also a
behind
lot
that.
of wasted space on it, a lot of wasted potential.
There's a
How
lot
many
of-
times
yeah.
did you really use that yellow joystick?
Very, very rarely.
Yeah. So, I just think there's a lot of wasted potential on that thing. Now, that being said, one of my favorite controllers is one of the most hated controllers of all time, and that's the Duke.
Really?
Um,
Man.
I've always been a big guy, and that controller just felt good in my hands, man. That's a big sumbitch, and that thing, I love the Xbox controller since the Xbox One. The styles just felt great, but when that thing came out, that big ass brick in my hands, like God, that was a man's controller as far as I was concerned. That's a controller that I wanted.
It's like holding a
And
17-inch fucking laptop in your hands.
I love it. I just fucking love it. It just feels good. I feel like a badass when I'm playing with it, and back in the day, I was like, "Yo, I'm playing with the Duke," and people were just like, I just thought it was the most badass thing in the world. So, I just had to go with that, and they brought it back, and God, I want to buy it again so bad.
Well, they said they're bringing it back, right?
It's here. I think it's here. I think it's $70.
Damn, that's way too much.
Get you one,
That's
dog.
like
I'm thinking.
that's like
I'm thinking
that's
about
like
it.
that's like $70 too much.
Bringing the Duke back, but yeah, that was a good controller for me. And that's funny because one of my least favorite is touted as one of the best, and one of my favorites is touted as one of the worst.
You're what we call a contrarian.
Absolutely. But
I
that's
know.
me. That's me. That's where I sit on that one. What about you, Jeremy?
Well, my favorite is actually the PS4 controller.
Okay, I can definitely get behind that.
I've always liked the DualShocks. I absolutely agree with what Carmen said. The original PS1 is one of my least favorites. It's still, I think, better than the N64 because it's a bit more traditional. I didn't like the joystick on the N64, but the D-pad on the original PlayStation was not good. But it's refined itself over the years. PlayStation found something that worked with the DualShock, and they stuck with it, and they kept making it better. But the PS4 has the heft that the PS3, it was too light. The PS4, it has that heft. The grips are a bit longer. They're rounded. They got the grips on the bottom. The buttons feel nice and smooth. I really like the how they molded the joysticks to give it an indent on the inside. I think I'm one of the only ones here who hasn't worn out his joysticks on these things yet. I've got 4 so far. Only one of them has given me a problem where I think the square button is starting to stick a bit. I really just keep getting these controllers because they're on such fucking good sales. So I just keep stocking up. I fucking love this controller. If I have any complaints with it, it's the touchpad is just super unnecessary. They don't even use it anymore. But it is nice just used for a pause button.
To speak to your point about comparing it to the DualShock 3,
yeah.
It's so funny you said that because I thought the DualShock 3 was fucking heavy and hefty and good to go. And I remember picking up that PS4 controller for the first time being like, oh my God. It's a whole different ball game when you compare them.
Exactly. It's the same way because I went back and replayed some PS3 a while back. It's like, man, this controller feels like a baby's toy. It's like a Cracker Jack prize at this point. Yeah. And my most hated controller of all time, you guys are going to think I'm cheating, but hear me out on this one. It's the Xbox Kinect.
Okay. All right, Jeremy.
Because-
You're walking the line here.
Yeah, that's not a controller.
How is it not a controller?
You're the controller. So you hate
Exactly.
yourself.
I hate myself. The Kinect doesn't fucking work.
Cue the peaceful music. It's time for a therapy session.
Jeremy just wanted to throw that in there so he could bitch about the Kinect.
Yeah.
And myself. Thing is, though, myself works. The Kinect don't pick it up.
True.
Okay,
I'll let
I'm
you
gonna
say
have
that
that, but you've got to give us a controller.
Yeah, we need a
say what?
controller that
I'll,
you put in
I'll
your
let that
hands.
stand. I'll let that stay in the podcast. But you've got to give us a controller after you get done explaining why you think this is the worst.
So you want me to explain why I don't like the Kinect and then pick another controller?
Yeah, you can explain why you picked the Kinect, but I want you to give me a real controller that you hate.
Well, I was gonna say because of all the bad controllers out there, they at least work. And the Kinect doesn't.
You're right. I agree.
Yeah.
The Kinect was pretty shitty.
It's as uncomfortable as the GameCube or 64 feels. I press a button and something happens. But if I can't choose the Kinect, then I choose the 64.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
There's worse controllers out there, but I'm limiting myself to what I've actually played, and I don't like the 64. The fucking mostly because that joystick. That joystick is the pieces of shit I've ever seen.
They did tend to break really quick and really easily.
They were super flimsy. There's no resistance on those things.
Jeremy, you have one upstairs at your house that's like the snappiest, most crispest N64 controller I've ever touched.
And it's still worse than any other fucking DualShock joystick out there.
Okay.
He ain't
Yeah.
lying.
You're not
Yeah.
lying.
I know I'm picking on your boy there. That's just how I feel.
Oh, you're good. I do have to give a controller honorable mention,
Uh-huh.
and that's the Pro controller for the Switch. It's literally
Oh,
the
for
it's
good?
literally the best
Yeah.
feeling controller I've ever put in my hands.
If we're doing honorable mentions, I'd also bring up the Xbox One controller. That thing was fucking sweet.
Yeah,
I was
that
just about to say that. You know, you
Yeah.
talking about the Switch controller. I mean, it's just like the one controller. So those two controllers are hand in hand, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I can't say
Like I
that
said-
it's my favorite because I don't own either of the consoles, and I've only used them in our playthroughs.
Yeah.
And I really only played with the Switch one, like not even on the console. I just like was button mashing the air basically, and it felt phenomenal. So if I owned either of those would probably top my list.
I don't know if they would top mine, but the little bit I played with them, they were super nice. I really liked them. Because I said that the Xbox One controller was the first time I ever held an Xbox controller, period. And that was pretty nice.
I remember when you picked it up when we were about to play Cuphead for the first time. You're like, "Oh, this feels pretty good."
Well, actually, the first time I ever picked it up was when we went and got my replacement PS4, and I tried a little bit of Xbox One at the Target.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I
And
remember that.
I even went, man, this actually feels pretty good. But that was the first time I actually ever got to like extensively play a game with it was Cuphead. But yeah, I like it. I was really surprised at how good it felt. I finally got all the hype everyone was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the controllers, to me, it's a toss-up, and I think that, you know, Microsoft might edge out the DualShocks as far as feel.
Yeah,
But it's
I can
really
understand.
close, really close.
I can understand why people think the Xbox One controller is better. It's just if I didn't have the preference for the DualShock, that's what really puts it over the edge for me. They're both fine choices. You can't go wrong.
I did see an article online I forgot to mention, but they made basically a receiver for the Switch that is compatible with PlayStation controllers, so you can play DualShock on your Switch now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of the
What-
third party. They're just trying. It's one of those third parties that's trying to make controllers basically universal across the board.
Whatever happened to that? I swear I saw an article where they said that I think it was like Nyko or some third party company was making an Xbox controller for the PlayStation.
There is that third party controller that is. It might have came out or is coming out that is looks just like a Xbox controller. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I don't know what to Google. But it's I've seen it out there. I don't know if it's out or not. But I think with all we've said is people know, and I'm sure we're not the only ones. People understand that the Xbox controller is hard to top. So there you have it. You've got our least favorite and favorite controllers over the years. Go get you a Duke. Go get you a DualShock 4. Don't go get you what they called DualShocks back in the day? I don't even know what they were.
It was just called a PlayStation controller. That's all it was.
So
PlayStation
simple.
controller. And for
PS1
God's
controller.
sake, please don't get a Kinect. Please. Carmen, you got anything for him?
I got nothing left.
Jeremy, you got anything else for him?
Nah, I'm good, man.
I think we came to the end of the road. Carmen, why don't you give him the rundown for us?
You know where to find us. HellaAverageGaming.com. We're posting all of our content there. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. Subscribe, like our stuff, give us views, give us listens. We appreciate everything. The numbers are up. The numbers look great, and we're super appreciative of you. If you want Cam to get help for his problem that is undisclosed at the moment, support us on Patreon.com. And on that note, stay hella average.
See ya.
He likes horse
Let
steak.
us know.